Koei keeps making these games that are really tough to pin down in one of these short videos. Not gonna lie, I had to play this one with a dictionary in one hand. It's a lot of business terms, and for some reason those weren't covered in my Japanese classes. Top Management was a computer game released in 1984. So this is a very, very late port. The computer game was a hit, which is why the Famicom port adds Famicom to the title. You wouldn't want people getting confused. And in that vein, the game actually starts with a notification that the companies in it aren't real companies. Then you're prompted to pick one of 5 computer manufacturers: NEC, Fujitsu, Toshiba, Sharp, and IBM. These are definitely completely made-up companies with no resemblance to any computer company that actually exists. The 5 companies have their own strengths and weaknesses that kind of reflect certain other companies, but aren't really representative. For example, NEC is the most popular brand in Japan, IBM has a powerful supercomputer division, and Toshiba is really good at making laptops. Regardless of which company you choose to play as, your goal is always the same: be the #1 company for 5 years in a row, or bankrupt everyone else. The game starts in April of 1995, and the first thing you do is set up a strategy for the year. You set up some sales quotas, arrange hiring of employees, pick a marketing strategy. Once you've made your plans, then you advance, and from this point until the next April, there are 2 turns per month. First, you're given a chance to allocate your resources. You can also set prices on your hardware. Second, you get to see how well the market is responding to you. Now you can try to micromanage this stuff, but I think in most cases what you're going to do is set a strategy and then let it ride for a while. I tried lowering my prices, for example, to drive more sales, but lowering the price by about 10% only made me lose money. At the end of the year, there's a presentation where you can see how everybody's done. And then you just keep repeating. You can go bankrupt twice before you get a game over, and it seems to be pretty hard to bankrupt yourself initially unless you're really stupid. I mean, I was really stupid, just picking things that sounded interesting, and I had money flooding in. I'm sure in year 2 and 3 I'd wind up breaking down pretty badly, but at the point I stopped, I was just about ready to launch a television advertising blitz for my hobbyist computers. There are 3 lines that you can invest in, basically desktops, laptops, and supercomputers. And you can engage in a bit of corporate espionage, go after your competitors at trade shows, and there's other events that'll let you try to steal market share away from them. There's a lot of options in Top Management, and it seems to be an awful lot to try to juggle. I'm sure it's a solvable puzzle. In fact, I'm positive that plenty of people have done just that, but the interactions are a bit too complex for me to grasp in the limited time I had. From what I can tell, Famicom Top Management wasn't an especially popular game, but Top Management was popular enough that there were sequels, and one of those was released on the Super Famicom. While it might not have been popular, I did find a few people who had fond memories of playing this one. Maybe they liked pretending to be captains of industry. Or perhaps it was the strange clip art style graphics that illustrate the game. I'm really conflicted on whether or not it's brilliant or terrible. I don't like the pictures, but I've got to admit that they're right for this kind of game. I can't really say that Famicom Top Management thrilled me. I'm definitely not going back and playing through this one further. But I also think it's the best business game on the Famicom. It's a low hurdle, I'll admit, but the interface is pretty good, you have plenty of options, and from what I read, there are multiple viable strategies. But if you're going to get any kind of enjoyment out of this, you're going to have to really love studying spreadsheets. I get enough of that in my real job.